Thank you for tuning in to the only station giving you double the information and inspiration. WDRB Media and WGIV, the soul of Charlotte. This is Marriage Matters, and I'm your host, the Marriage Coach. Make sure you tune in every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. for tips and advice on all matters of marriage. Be sure to like us on Facebook by searching for Marriage Matters so that you can stay abreast of topics, ask questions, or comments during our interactive segment of Marriage Matters. Also, be sure to check out our website at www.ittakes2marriagecoaching.com for more information on our services. Today's sponsor is It Takes Two Marriage Coaching. It Takes Two provides individual counseling sessions as well as group marriage retreats. It Takes Two provides services to engaged as well as married couples. If you are looking to strengthen your marriage, to rekindle the love, bring back the spice in your bedroom, learn how to communicate over again, definitely reach out to It Takes Two Marriage Coaching at 704-449-6542 or find them on the web at www.ittakes2marriagecoaching.com. All right, so thank you all for tuning in. Today is January the 27th, and this is our last show of Marriage Matters. Let me just say that this has been an incredible journey for It Takes Two. We started this journey back in August of just educating the masses on why marriage matters, how does marriage matter, how do we do marriage, how do we be married. We've talked about everything from co-parenting on this show to sex, to infidelity, to domestic violence. We've had wife panels, we've had husband panels. We've done just about everything you can do in relation to marriage. And so this outlet has been a huge blessing for It Takes Two. And it was a very fun adventure and a fun opportunity for us to share with you, our listeners, the information that we have about marriage. And so I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for continuously listening to us, for continuously following us on our Marriage Matters WGIV Facebook page, for staying abreast all of our topics, making this an interactive and fun and engaging show for us. As it stands, like I said, today is going to be our last show. It is not the end of It Takes Two. We definitely encourage you to continue to follow us, continue to be a part of what we do. We offer marriage seminars. We do offer one-day marriage seminars. We offer full weekend marriage seminars. We do individual sessions and individual group retreat or individual retreats with married couples. We do have a It Takes Two Marriage Coaching Facebook page. I ask you to go like that page and continue to follow us. And our page is very interactive. I communicate with our followers every day. So I ask you to continue to even though we're done with our show on Wednesdays, and I won't be meeting with you on Wednesdays at 7:30, I can now meet with you every day via our website, via our Facebook page, as well as some other doors that God has opened up that I'm not going to totally share with you all today. I'm going to say just keep your eyes out, watching your TV screens. You never know when you're going to see It Takes Two pop up again, or when you're going to, you may see us in another light, in another avenue, another venue of sharing knowledge with you about marriage. So for our final show, we are going to wrap up with a part 2 of our Ask the Coach segment. I've got my wonderful, incredible life partner in the studio with me today.
Hey, dear. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad you at least greeted me with something extra today. Last week you was kind of like, hey. You wasn't that excited. So are you more excited to be with me this week?
Yes, I am.
Thanks. And you actually did a great job talking and answering questions. You was nervous, but you did a really good job. And I was really grateful to have you in the studio, to have a male perspective, a male voice on some of the issues that our couples are experiencing out there. And so we're going to continue to answer your questions today, continue to share this knowledge and information that we have with you. And all right, without further ado, we're going to keep going. You ready?
Yes.
All right. So, next question on our list, and if you didn't tune in with us last week, we were putting out there and promoting for the last couple of weeks via all of our markets, from our website to our Marriage Matters Facebook page and our It Takes Two Facebook page, for you all to send in questions, comments, concerns, whatever you want to share with the Marriage Matters. And so we have made the commitment to answer any questions that we can for you from our perspective as husband and wife, and a couple that's been married almost 8 years. 3 wonderful girls, 3 wonderful children as well that were in the studio with us. If you've been a long-time follower, you heard them in the studio with us for our Christmas segment. We brought them in for a Christmas Eve segment, and they talked to you and shared a little bit about our family then. So we have made the commitment to answer any and all questions for you. So here is our first question of the night. My husband often stays out late and comes home between 2 and 3 a.m. I don't want to become the nagging wife, so I am unsure of how to address him without him becoming upset. So since you over there giggling and laughing and smirking and leaning to the side, y'all can't see him, listeners, but he's all over the place over here. Did you want to answer that question first, or?
No, didn't know you was going to start with that question.
Yes, might as well. It's up on the list next, so might as well go in the order that they fall. So, okay, I'll answer the question. So, one, I want to challenge you on, why do you consider yourself nagging if you're addressing an issue in your marriage? Whenever you've got an issue, whenever you've got a challenge, whenever you've got a concern within your marriage, both husband and wife should feel open and free to express what that is. There shouldn't be a situation where you're feeling like, oh, but if I express how I feel, then I'm nagging. Or if I express how I feel, then I'm picking, or I'm doing whatever the case may be. If you don't express how you feel, you're going to find yourself divorced. So I would rather you err on the side of feeling like you nagging, even though that's not nagging to express how you feel. But I would rather you err on the side of feeling like you nagging than to keep your emotions and feelings to yourself and then find yourself ultimately miserable. Maybe you start cheating. Maybe you start doing whatever. Or maybe you just reach out for a divorce attorney, which is what I would not recommend you do, without first expressing how you feel. But sit your husband down. I mean, I don't see why that will be a difficult thing, to sit him down and express how you feel in regards to his late night outs. I've got a couple of questions for you. I mean, my question would be, have you brought this up at all before? For you to make the comment that you feel like you're nagging, I'm going to assume, and I could be wrong, I'm going to assume that you've talked about this many times, and so, because when I think of the definition of nagging, I think of something that's brought up over and over and over and over and over again. So have you brought up this before? Is this the first time you're bringing it up? Whatever it is, get it out there in the open. Express how you feel, but express how you feel respectfully, so that your husband does receive it in a way that you might actually get change. I wouldn't say just like go all out and be crazy. You may not get the answer that you're wanting. So be respectable in your question, and in return, he should definitely be respectable in his answer, and hopefully start to better respect your marriage. If he's out to 2 or 3 a.m. often, I would say that that's probably a level of disrespect to your marriage. It would be to mine. I'll put it that way. So express how you feel. Allow him the opportunity to maybe tell you what he's doing. I don't know his work schedule. Is he working at that time? Is he hanging out with somebody? What is he doing at that hour would be, my first question. And then you all coming to some sort of compromise as to what's an appropriate time for him to come back in the house, if it's not work related. And we're just talking about social, of course. I mean, if it's work, that's a different issue. But if it's social, you all coming to a compromise on what's kosher. What do you think?
I agree with what you said. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Would you feel like if you were addressing an issue with me more than once, would you feel like that you were nagging?
If it's multiple times, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And so I guess the bigger question almost might be for this couple is, why are you having to address something over and over and over again?
1 or 2 times is nagging. More than 2 times is nagging.
Right. So if it's more than 2 times, why is that couple having to address something more than 2 times over and over again? I guess that'd be my question. Like, if I'm at the place where I feel like I'm nagging you at this point, then there either has to be some change or something's gonna have to give. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she shouldn't have to feel like she's nagging at this point because there should be change. She shouldn't even have to continue to talk about it because it needs to stop if it's an issue in their marriage.
True.
So, but hope we answered your question. That would be my response to that. Like I said, sit him down, express how you feel, and then allow for an opportunity for him to tell you what's going on, why he's out, what he's doing, and then you all compromise and come to some sort of agreement on that. All right, so this one is interesting, and it's a long question. It says, I recently found out my wife has several accounts that I was not aware of. When I asked her about the accounts, I found out that she inherited a large lump sum of money from her grandparents. She told me that she didn't tell me because she was just holding the money until we needed it for an emergency. Problem is, at this point, I feel betrayed and wonder what other secrets that she's keeping. What type of lump sum are we talking about? That would be my question.
Right.
We talking about like... She got like millions on the side, or you talking about she got a couple hundred on the side?
She got millions. I ain't mad at you.
No, if you got millions, I need to know because I'm over here struggling and barely making it over here. We got bills to be paid. If you got millions,
I don't think if she's letting them struggle. If you're together, you're not going to let the person struggle. You're not going to struggle. If she's holding it for an emergency fund, I can understand that.
Yeah, but he's saying that the problem is he feels betrayed and it's caused him to wonder what other secrets that she's keeping though.
Well, I don't know. As far as the accounts, I don't see nothing wrong with that. For other secrets, I guess ask her, is there anything else that you're hiding from me? Is there something that I don't know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then I wonder, how did he find out? That would be my question. Was he snooping?
Right.
How did you find? I mean, not that there's anything wrong with you finding out. I don't want to give that implication. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just curious, how did you find out? But I'm with you. Definitely sit down, ask again. To me, everything falls back to communication. I mean, you can't have a marriage. You can't have a successful anything when we talk about relationships. So it could be your marriage. It could be your relationship with your parents. It could be your relationship with your job. Like, I can't go to work every single day and never communicate with my boss because then I don't know what the expectation is. I don't know what goals I need to accomplish that day. So at some point, somebody got to talk. Every good relationship, the foundation has to be communication. And so I think for all of these questions that we've answered over the last 2 segments, communication's got to be that foundation. And what I've often found out for couples is they either one or 2 things. Either they have no idea how to communicate, and so they're not talking. They're keeping a lot of secrets. They're harvesting a lot of ill feelings toward each other because they don't want to say things. They don't want to hurt each other's feelings. They don't want to rock the boat, so to speak. Or the opposite, and they are doing tons of communicating, but all the communication is wrong. It's yelling. It's screaming. It's name-calling. It's disrespect. It's usually one or the other. So I would recommend, that couples take the opportunity to really learn some good communication strategies. Definitely join us for one of our marriage retreats. We can teach you some great communication strategies and teach you how to really make things right in your marriage. One thing I did want to share with you all, April the 16th, save that date. April the 16th is going to be our 3-year anniversary celebration. We're going to be celebrating 3 years of strengthening marriages. So save that date, April the 16th. We're going to be at the Charlotte, the Tavern downtown on Moorhead from 7 to 11. Definitely go to our website to get more information on that, or give us a call again at 704-449-6542. All right, so let's go on to another question. Ooh, this is a good steaming one, Maurice. You see this one? This is about sex. All right, so my marriage bed has become boring. We are both at a point where we really don't desire sex anymore. We may have sex one time a month. That is nothing. And shouldn't say that on the air. That's just, I'm just saying that, we got to work on that. We're gonna work on it. I'm going to get you all the way together with this question, okay? We may have sex one time a month, and I really want to change that. So you want to change it, so you acknowledge that that's not good. But I don't know how. Please help us bring the spice back. Please. All right, so that's a good one. So let's start. Let's start here. I've got a couple questions for you. So my first question would be: before you got to the place where you were only having sex one time a month, how frequent was your sex before that point? And one time a month might be, I don't know, if you was only having sex 4 times a month, that's not too far off that. But if you were having sex, 4 times a week, that's a drastic change. So, that would be my first question to you. But, I'll say this. Let me take a step back for a second. So I think sometimes when you're married, work, kids, stress, life, you have everything happening all around you, and it can absolutely affect your sex life. I mean, health even. Add health in there. You can have physical issues, different sexual issues that can affect, the frequency of your sex life and even the quality of your sex life. Because if that one time a month also sucks, I mean, you're in double trouble, because that is just not a good combination. So let's, that would be my question to you is, what has caused you? Has it been work? Has it been kids? Has it been stress? Has it been your health? What's caused you all to diminish down to one time a month? And hearing you say that you really want to change it tells me that it's not a situation where you're unattracted to your spouse. It sounds like it could be something else. And so often when we get busy in our marriages and we got life happening, it's not that we're unattracted to our spouse. It's not that they don't walk past us and we get, like, ooh, you get googly eyed, or you have some sort of, biological change in your body that's like, says that you're ready to have sex. So it's not necessarily that, but just life is happening around you. So my challenge to you would be, sit down and ask your spouse these questions. My first question would be, why are we only having sex one time a month? Find out the reason. My second question would be, how often do we wish we were actually having sex? Set a goal for yourself. If you wish that you were having sex every day, maybe going from one time a month to every day is a big jump. So maybe if you might say, all right, let's work on twice a week. So, maybe it's my job to initiate one time a week and it's your job to initiate one time a week. And that way we at least ensure that it's happening twice a week. And then the more you get back in the swing of it, I would think, the more you would desire one another, and you might get back to the place where you're doing it 3 or 4 times a week. Sometimes, and I don't know where you are in life, if you just had a child, having newborns can affect all that, because sometimes they're in your bed and you're waking up 2 or 3 times during the night to feed or nurse or whatever y'all got going on in your marriage. So communicate about it. The last thing you want to do, though, is to start thinking about somebody else, or think about, but it was different when I was with such and such. She or he was so good at it. And, don't do that. Turn to your spouse. Don't turn to other people for your sexual desires. All right. Did you want to chime in on?
No, you got that one.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I did a good job with that
Yes.
one. Okay, so here's our last question that we're going to answer for the night. This one says, my wife and the mother of my child do not get along. My wife often feels that I choose the side of my baby mother over her. I just wish that we could all get along for the sake of my son. I have tried everything and I am at a loss. Why can't we just all get along? Ooh, now, baby mama drama can be touchy.
Why they don't like each other? That's the first question.
That's true. So you would say the first figure out what's causing the conflict between the wife and the baby mama?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm in agreement with that. And if I don't know if this person is a longtime listener of Marriage Matters, but we did an earlier show on co-parenting, and one of the things we talk about is that whoever is responsible for the blendedness of the family, and which in this case it sounds like is you, sir, you that have sent in the question to me. You're responsible for the blendedness, meaning that you have a wife and you have a baby mother. You are the one that's responsible for keeping the peace between the two. It is not your wife's responsibility to keep the peace between her and your baby mama, just like it ain't your baby mama's responsibility to keep the peace between her and your wife. That's your job. So I would say, if you guys are all trying to like co-parent together, is my assumption for you saying, because you said you want to just get along for the sake of your son. So I'm assuming you all three are kind of trying to co-parent. Maybe sit down and have a meeting. And I know that kind of sounds corny, and folks are always like, that just seems too cliche, or that just seems, too Bill Cosby-ish, too Cosby Show. But I promise you, it could work, and I've seen it work with other families. Sit everybody down, and you all communicate about what's going on. Because if you all are all trying to raise this boy together, y'all do have to all be on the same page. And your baby mama and your wife may never actually personally get along. Like, they may always personally dislike who each other is. But for the sake of your son, I'm with you. There must be some sort of, like, middle ground. I don't know if you all are, like, maybe sharing parenting responsibilities. Maybe somebody picks the kid up from school and drops the kid with the other parents, or whatever was going on. But you got to figure out how to come together as one unit, all talk about what it is, and figure out how to make it work at minimum for the child. It may never work for you all personally, but at minimum for the child, you all have got to be able to communicate and keep the son out of the drama. You didn't say that in your question, but I've seen it happen before. Don't put your son in the middle of it. Don't make comments in front of the son about, if you're the wife, don't make comments in front of the son about his biological mom. If you're the biological mom, don't make comments about the wife. I can't stand her. She didn't have no business telling you to do this or putting you on punishment. Don't do that. Don't be messy. Keep your mess out of the hands and ears of the child. I don't know. That's what I got. What you got, Maurice?
I mean, I agree. It's on him to sit down with both the baby mama and the wife. I say individually first, and then get them together to lay down the law. This is not what's going to happen. We're going to talk like three grown adults, and we're going to come to an agreement on some sort.
Yeah.
Where there's no conflict and somebody in the room is feeling uncomfortable.
Right. I like that idea, and definitely you guys figure that out for the sake of the son, definitely. So I hope that we got through most of your questions for you all who are tuning in. It was a really exciting segment, I think, for us to get an opportunity to kind of hear what's kind of going on in your homes and answer some of those questions for you guys. As I stated earlier, with this being our last show, I just really, really want to show my appreciation to all of our listeners who have followed and who tune in every Wednesday to express, to interact with us and to listen to what we have to share with you guys. This has been an amazing 6-month journey. I have enjoyed every bit of this. I think we've given out some really good info over these 6 months. And so I hope that you have too. Hope you've got some good notes that you've taken over the 6 months on Wednesday nights. And we thank you for allowing us into your living rooms, your bedrooms, your cars, wherever you're tuning in. We appreciate you allowing us into your life. I want to again encourage you to continue to follow us. It Takes Two Marriage Coaching still exists. So continue to follow us via our website to stay abreast of all of our events. Like I said, we do marriage seminars. We do one-day seminars here in Charlotte. We do marriage retreats all over the U.S. We ask you to continue to follow us with those. Next one coming up that's going to be in Georgia, right outside of Atlanta. We've got one coming up in June that's going to be on the beach in Florida. So definitely be checking our website. Make sure you like us on Facebook at It Takes Two, the number 2 marriagecoaching.com. It Takes Two Marriage Coaching. Like us on Facebook to stay abreast all of our events. And lastly, really quickly, I want you to write this down and save the date. April the 16th is our 3-year anniversary of It Takes Two Marriage Coaching. We're going to be celebrating 3 fantabulous years of strengthening the marriage of many, many couples in Charlotte and around the country. And so we're actually going to be having an event at the Tavern, which is located on Moorhead Street. It's going to be a gala. It's going to be an amazing event. It's going to be a dressy affair. We're going to have some hors d'oeuvres, and we're going to have drinks, and we're going to have a live jazz band, and we're going to be doing a few marriage activities. So definitely be watching our website as well as our It Takes Two Facebook page so that you can stay abreast and make sure you got tickets to that event. Anything you want to chime in and say, Boo?
I'm proud of you for what you've done and accomplished with this.
Proud of me?
Yes.
Oh.
And what you will continue to do. And I love you, and that's it.
Oh, I love you too. You must want a little treat tonight. I got something for you. So anywho, thank you. You have been tuned in to Marriage Matters. I am your host, the Marriage Coach. Continue to follow the Marriage Coach on It Takes Two Marriage Coaching, and you all have an amazing 2016 and make this the year of your best marriage. Husbands, if you could turn back the hands of time, would you propose to your wife again? Wives, if you could go back to that very day, would you still say yes? Have you lost that I still do commitment, or do you need a refresher on how to keep that I still do commitment in your marriage? What better time to recommit to your spouse, rekindle the love, and remember why you fell in love than Valentine's weekend? Join us for our next I Still Do marriage retreat for Valentine's weekend in Georgia. Join us for fun and engaging activities to strengthen every marriage at every stage. Reserve your spot today, as we only take 10 couples at a time. This marriage retreat will sell out. Contact us at 704-449-6542 or contact us via our website at www.ittakes2marriagecoaching.com for more information on our next marriage retreat.